Quit taking the easy route and saying, "Oh, Pajemski."
Yeah, I'm not. He's already a plus. Yeah, he's already a plus on the year.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It ain't about Pajemski.
It's not.
Pajemski shouldn't even be playing as much as he is. He's playing as much as he is because they're not as good as they've been in the past. That's why Pajemski's playing. And now he's playing too much, and so some more warts are starting to show.
Right.
But it ain't about Pajemski.
No doubt. Well said.
It's about Curry, and it's about Clay, and it's about Draymond, and it's about Wiggins. And, we can sit here and talk game after game and month after month about, well, they're still really good. Okay. There's a difference between being championship, as Leandro Barbosa said, and being on the decline. And we're watching it firsthand.
And to that point, and this is my new reality because I've had my head under the pillow and been in somewhat denial, I've taken energy for granted. If you're telling me now when I sit in and lock in and watch the Dubs, energy is going to be dependent on when they last played, or if we're there now, Steiny, that's scary. That's something the Knicks had it it was for the two guys played 48. And I haven't come to terms with what you've been pushing. And if you're right that it's about attrition, how can they win a series with the game every other night?
They can't. They can't right now. Maybe something will change, but this has been, the way I look at it is, they haven't been consistent for 2 years. They were 44 wins a year ago. They beat the Kings in the first round. Great series. Steph was spectacular in Game 7. They've come back. They ran it back. They won a title. They ran it back. They got to the second round. They ran it back again. And now they're worse off than they were last year.
Nobody can come downhill but Curry or Kuminga and put pressure on the defense in a Warrior uniform. Yet everybody they played, McBride, he looked like Hal McBride last night, Steiny.
Yeah. Who is Hal McBride?
The guy from
I don't know. No, I don't know.
Hal McBride, the famous actor, McBride. The brother with the afro from
I'm talking about Bake McBride, the former Philadelphia Philly and Cardinal.
Now that's a good call. I'm familiar.
Danny McBride?
No, where's Dibs when you need him? What's my guy? Old school actor.
It'll come up on the text line.
With the afro, McBride.
Somebody saying was that in Macbeth?
No,
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Boo Radley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I never heard of him.
Yep. Hey, Steiny, you're making me feel a little better just talking it out, but I got to do something with my starting lineup. And it's not just pods related. It's Chris Paul's playing, but like Steiny, he's hitting them little middies, man. Do we get him in early to get off to give our chance a better start than if we're older? Isn't it harder to go uphill than downhill?
So you want to start Chris Paul, Clay, and
no, I got
Curry.
My preference is TJD for sure.
Okay.
TJD.
So he's in.
Yeah, TJD.
He's already in. And so we're not changing anything there.
I would look at Clay or CP3
for Pajemski.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, this TJ
rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic,
or just giving it a different look. But Steiny, we have turned into, and it's about winning the game. You'll hate this, Lob City. I mean, what they're doing with TJD is just like, and maybe the league will figure it out, but right now, Chris Paul, and it's not just him, Draymond, but Draymond, man, he's got some turnovers too, Steiny. He threw one. I'm like, come on, Day-Day. People telling me you can't start CP3, Goo, but some saying he was solid.
You know me.
Shy McBride. Yeah.
Who's he?
Oh, my goodness.
Is that the guy from East Down and Down and Out in L.A.?
Shy McBride, Steiny? Come on,
I don't know. Is that who? Just help me, Evan.
It sounds like a best supporting actor.
Oh, gotcha.
He's a legend.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I want to just pull my computer out and show you. You'll be like him.
No, I know. I know the guy from. He's a
chief of staff of the IRA from 36.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Played in Boston Public.
Okay.
Played in Roll Bounce with Bow Wow.
You know I never do this. Very rarely do I do this, where I look at a game and I'd be like, he should have done this. He should have played this. What about? But I'll tell you this: if I'm Chris Paul, I'm pissed off. He was.
Now you said that, and I looked. He was on the floor.
Chris Paul the second. First of all, he put him in the last minute of the game,
and that's when you typed it.
I think he only played like 19 minutes. Other than that,
wow,
he was the best player on the floor,
no doubt about it,
like by far,
no doubt.
And I don't understand why you wouldn't play him a little more.
Wow.
888-957-9570 is the number. Moody, I guess, got hurt in the first half, so he didn't return in the second half. He did a nice job against Brunson in New York. All of a sudden, last night, they don't have anybody who can guard him. Went by Steph.
Threw a shoulder into Kuminga and hit him with the fadeaway.
Everybody.
What about the first play of the game? DiVincenzo puts his shoulder into Steph, moves him 10 feet, drops him, and bucket. Now I'm like, that's just one play, but that set the tone.
Yeah.
Memphis is not going to be easy. And I guess when you're the 10th seed.
The one thing I was thinking about with Steph, and I looked up some numbers because as great as he is, something feels different with Steph. And so I look at last year, and he had 17 games out of 56 where from the three-point range, he shot 33% or less.
All right.
So if he's 1 for 3, he's never 1 for 3. He always takes more than that. But 2 for 6, a 3 for 9, 4 for 12, anything worse than that. Last year he had 17 games like that in 56. This year he's had 23 of those games in 61. So he's having more games where he's shooting really poorly from 3-point range. Like 6 games, that matters. And the reality is that if you combine he and Clay, they've never shot the ball worse from 3-point range. They're still both around. By the way, Clay is knocking on the door to catching Steph. He's only like a percentage point behind him now.
Man,
have you noticed?
Man, I did not notice
right.
that.
And I don't know whether that's good or bad.
Yeah. Prize Picks had him at 3.5 threes last night. He banged 4.
Who?
Clay, he hit
2 in garbage time.
It don't. But for the gamblers, it cash.
And that's.
I hear you.
Clay wasn't very good last night. And then he ends up.
They
with
were not
18.
good, Matt.
Nobody was.
Except Chris Paul. Like he really was. He's even stroking the 3 ball right now.
I know 510. I know, and he's. I can't think of many 36-year-olds who are playing at the level of Steph Curry. The problem is we're used to seeing Steph at 26 and 28 and 30 and 32. That's why it looks a little bit different.
Can I put a rat on the table, Steiny?
Yeah.
This is a big one, like the one I sent you from New York. Evan, I kind of told you this already. 2 weeks ago, Matt, you told me on the airwaves, Goo, I don't know if it's enough time. And this is where I'm at right now. The Warriors are 3 games ahead of the Houston Rockets. I believe you have the Houston Rockets schedule in front of you. And the only reason I say that to you all is that is really the nightmare on Elm Street. If somehow the Warriors don't get their act together, Houston's coming. Like before, we thought it was just a lock. Like that's where I'm at. I'm looking now, but I'm running the race looking behind me. And Houston is hot. And technically, they got enough time if the Warriors don't handle their business, Steiny, and keep losing at home.
You know how Steph Curry would answer that? It doesn't matter.
Maybe a week or 2 ago, 6 seed was the motivation. Right now, I think I could care less about where you're at. It's just the consistency of how we're playing. That's the most important thing because honestly, who cares what seed you are if you play like we did tonight? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever it is, doesn't matter. You're not going to get very far. So that's the perspective and the focus. It doesn't really matter where the standards are.
Feels like things are kind of hitting home for the Warriors a little bit. That's what last night felt like. And I watched Curry at the podium. There's not a lot to say. 35 and 32. And
lost another one at home.
You lost another one at home. And let me say, of the four guys that I point, the champions, Clay was the best of the four. He was the best of the four. But I'm not necessarily going to sit here and say Clay played a winning basketball game last night. And that's the thing. I mean, it used to be with the Warriors, and you know what? I hate bringing up the past all the time, but that's what fans do. They're still thinking championship. They're still thinking this team is who it used to be.
That's me.
And they're just not able to sustain anything.
When they get within four against any team, I'm like, oh, here they come. Here they come. They ran them. And it stops on a dime. Your boy called 2 timeout Tibbs yesterday, and out of the timeouts to stop a Warrior run, McBride hits 2 threes. Nobody on him, Steiny.